What's going on, guys? It's Chef. Back here on some more Modern Warfare. You already know. Gotta finish this grind out. So we're over 25,000 kills into this grind now, so we're actually at the real halfway point. But at least all the pain points of this whole weapon charm grind, at least the hardest parts are out of the way. Playoffs going on this weekend. They played some games yesterday. There was like a giant comeback or something. I get the worst feeling when we actually manage to go up over another team, especially early. I swear in almost every sport, but especially American football, the first half almost means nothing. The amount of times I've seen 4 possession deficits get completely overcome, it's way too high in comparison to what it really should be. You would think when two teams are playing really close with each other for a while, they're competing back and forth, and then one of the teams just starts getting ahead. And then they just get all of this momentum. And something happens every single time. Whenever one of these teams gets ahead, they just forget how to score. It just happens every single time, no matter what team they are. They never score from beginning to end. If a team scores like 20-30 points in the first half, they almost never score 20-30 points in the second half. So I've just had Bleach just sitting in the background. I actually have no idea what's going on, but I'm on like episode 200 something. I don't know. Yo, what episode is it when it goes from 720p or whatever it was, 480p really early? I have no idea. This shit is old. I swear I got through like 200 episodes and it was still in like 480p, not full screen. When do the actual full screen, like the aspect ratio, when do we get the actual... One of the hardest things for me to get over, man. Whenever anime looks really old, I have a hard time watching it. I just do. No matter how good it is, if the quality... Dude, so I've been seeing so many ideas get floated around recently, especially since everybody's making all their suggestions. I never shut up, so I'm always constantly making suggestions, and I always think that the game could be, you know, improved or whatever. But, you know, my ideas aren't always the best, nor are they even implemented a lot of the time. I've been seeing some crazy ideas and stuff like that. One idea I saw get floated around was adding ground war back. Like the real ground war, not the Modern Warfare 2019 ground war, the real ground war. You basically just take all the 6v6 maps and you basically just increase the player count. Instead of it being 6v6, it'll be 99, 8v8, whatever. Do whatever you gotta do. I think that would be pretty good. Also, update on that Elden Ring video that I was making. I don't know if it's coming out the way I really wanted to. I might just do it. I've been busy. I was playing the co-op randomizer with JT over on his stream. Seed that we got is... so brutal, man. And even if Modern Warfare 2019 had, you know, basically a ground war equivalent, I mean, they did do 10v10 shipment, right? But they made like little gimmick, you know, playlists and stuff for it. I don't know why they just didn't have regular ground war in the game. It just makes no sense why they even removed it in the first place. Definitely more of a fan of the original ground war over, you know, the new updated ground war. That was something that I actually expressed early into Modern Warfare 2019 when everybody was playing ground war and stuff still. Ground war was pretty popular at the time, the Modern Warfare 2019 ground war. But I'd like the original back. So Charlie Intel put out a tweet. I talk about this all the time and I'm always talking trash about it, and I don't mean to constantly draw comparisons to it. Charlie Intel puts out a tweet that says Modern Warfare 2019 multiplayer is better than MW2 multiplayer. Discuss. Now this is obviously bait. No one in their right mind or anyone that's actually like honest with themselves would say that Modern Warfare 2019's multiplayer is better than Modern Warfare 2's. Now you could say that, you know, oh, I had a better time on it, but it won't make it better. Of course, at that time, everyone was just circle jerking. Of course, at that time, everybody's gonna feel and have good feelings. The biggest issue, too, is that I think Modern Warfare 2019 would have benefited from a regular ground war more so than this game, because if you at least put more players onto a bad map, just the sheer amount of players will at least allow the players to kind of flow into each other and actually fight each other. Whereas in Modern Warfare 2019, they just kept all the player counts low on terrible maps that were way too big for the small amount of players that they had on said maps. It was just terrible. I wonder if and when they go and make those ADS adjustments, I wonder how much better sniping will be. Everything will technically be better universally across the board, right? Sniper rifles, handling wise, being able to jump around a corner and actually like truly ADS properly. Under that tweet, somebody was like, oh yeah, well, of course you would say that Modern Warfare 2 is better than Modern Warfare 20. People that clearly just don't know me at all know that they haven't watched a video or anything at all, because as much brain rot as I have accumulated over all these years of playing the game, I still do care about the series. But again, Call of Duty isn't even my top searched game. That's the weirdest part. Like, whenever I do anything else but Call of Duty, that's the highlight for people. You need Call of Duty to do well. No, the fuck I don't. I went through Vanguard. I went through MWR. I don't need it to do shit. What you need to do is shut the f. I think one fun game mode that they could add to this in general is adding a ground war mode. Basically, it'll be like a mosh pit mode where it's just an increased player count. and then, you know, you'll just put it on there, and then like maybe make like a mayhem ground war mode or something, however they need to do it, because I don't know how they would have to make like either a separate playlist or what, because like would it be a quick play filter, and if it's its own thing, then it would have to have its own pool of maps. Most of the maps on this game, while they're not incredible, they at least have some sort of design and flow to them, so adding more players to it could also alleviate the whole focus on shipment and shoot house that a lot of people have. The reason shoot house and shipment are played is because they are the most efficient way, and while yes, adding more players to the other maps won't make them more efficient than shipment or shoot house, likely, it does make them more efficient and appealing to people that are those types of players anyway. For me, for example, I'm saying I would be more willing to play other maps and stuff like that if ground war and the player counts were increased, because that ups the amount of engagements that we have on the maps, which in turn speeds up the process of, you know, getting camos and stuff. At this point, they've made such a nice streamlined system for the Orion thing. They clearly want people to do this. It's part of the game's like longevity to go and do this kind of thing. So why not support it even more? There's like a lot of people that talk about, you know, shoot house and shipment potentially harming the game, but it's clear that it's part of their design that recognize that like this whole camo grinding thing is something that people like to do. From the most hardcore players to the most casual players, people like doing this. People like unlocking a nice shiny camo. After I had finished getting every camo I possibly could on Modern Warfare 2019, I was still playing shipment anyway. That's just more of a byproduct of just the maps just not being good. They just really aren't good. They never were good. So whenever we're talking about Modern Warfare 2019 multiplayer versus Modern Warfare 2's multiplayer, comparing something that basically loses in virtually every single category, but the vibe, it's just not a good enough reason, I'm sorry. It's just not enough for me to go and say that it was better. Not to mention with the maps being as bad as they were, it also, the audio, man. The audio is 10 times worse on that game than this one. Directionally, loudness, balance-wise, just all of it is horrible. The buildings that were designed with that system in mind, terrible combination. Every single little part that they put together just was the most incompatible, disgusting combination of things I've ever seen. Maybe I'll do it tomorrow. Maybe I'll start like a whole series tomorrow on the randomizer or something. Some random Elden Ring videos throughout the week. At the end of the day, this whole argument just had the same conversations over and over and over again, and then just add a new Call of Duty to it. There we go. Gold is done. Platinum time. I'm not going to switch over to my weapon too quickly, otherwise it will remove all of my attachments. Weirdest thing. Cool. All right, we're good. All right, so 100 of those done. So now we go over to platinum. Luckily, sniping on this game is actually pretty good, so I'm not going to hate sniping on here. I hate knowing that I can do it faster. That's the problem. I hate knowing that there is a faster way, but it can't be done that way. That's what people go and unlock these camos for. For someone to go and recognize, like, damn, that dude has that camo. So, like, even though they did make this process easier, it allowed people that wanted to get it that never were able to get it before. But there are still people out there that will just never unlock Orion. It's still a lot of work. No matter how much time you give them, they'll just never put in the amount of time that it requires for that. It's not the main thing that they do with their time. So unlocking it still gives everybody that really good feeling. A UFC event happened yesterday. I got all my picks right, except I think Ketlin Vieira, which was actually a really big surprise. I feel like she really underperformed in that fight. I feel like she's definitely better than Raquel Pennington, but not last night. She wasn't. She ended up losing by decision. Sean Strickland ended up winning by decision the expected way. Pressure is just a lot, and Nasser Dean is just simply not as dangerous as like somebody like Alex Pereira, for example, that can put him out with one shot. Imavov did pretty well, but nothing crazy. That's why I picked Sean right there. He ended up winning that. Umar ended up winning. He ended up KOing Barcella. I'd be getting so mad during this kind of shit. Like shipment, I don't really have to worry about getting too angry or too competitive or something like that. I don't try too hard, but when it comes to these maps and people are actually playing things and I can break them down to what they're actually trying to do in their style, I get very annoyed very, very quickly. This map makes me angry really fast. Both of the games got their issues, but Modern Warfare 2019 was savable at the start, but they just kept leaning into it and said we were wrong. So, dude, I remember at one point, us as a community had to collectively tell the devs, it was Raven too, we had to explain to Raven how collaterals worked. I remember this. And they literally made a video replying to the community saying that we were wrong. And then we went, wait, but you guys are literally testing in the wrong environment. You guys are testing in private matches. And they're like, well, what's the difference? It's like, well, there's literally a damage difference between online and private. Also, there's a difference between you being host and not being host. You would literally not be able to get certain collaterals if you were not host. Other cases where if you were host. Like, they didn't know these things. They literally made the game and we still know it better. Whatever. Anyway, I think they should add ground war. They should do something like that. Obviously, they're gonna have some sort of content that is supposed to come out for season 2 and all that stuff. A little bit over 2 weeks until the season 2 thing happens. Maybe we could get some sort of balance changes or something like that. We did get like some bugs fixes or whatever, but just every update has just been incredibly lackluster and just odd. Just odd. No soul. just nothing. Although, again, I will say that literally within a year or 2 years, or however long that we're supposed to be playing this as the main game, guarantee it's gonna do the same cycle again, because I'm already seeing people say things, Vanguard was not that bad, Vanguard was this, Vanguard was that. I'm gonna leave it at that. I didn't hate Vanguard. I played it more than a lot of other people. I went out of my way to actually unlock the zombies camo on that game, okay? That deserves a real pat on the back for somebody, especially someone that doesn't even play zombies like that. That deserves a real pat on the back. It's one of the most irrelevant things I have ever done while playing the game, but it was honestly one of the most relaxing, chilled out experiences I've ever had. Still not as good as Cold War though. Not even close.